Hey, welcome to my journey into another menu planning grocery haul. I'm doing protein, high protein, low carb. That's how I'm eating. I make a menu that will satisfy both me and my husband. He eats carbs. I try to stay away from them for right now. I am introducing some, kind of starting this week. Well, last week was a wash because of David being sick, me not cooking. Anyway, so parts of the menu are protein and parts of the menu are carbs. So when you hear this, you're thinking, this is not a whole high protein menu. It has parts that is high protein. So that's how I had the menu plan, because I need to make something that we both can eat. And that's me not making two separate meals. And I think I accomplished that. So we're going to go ahead and start. For Friday, yesterday, I was not low carb. We had sketty. And y'all know how I love my sketty. And I've been wanting some. The noodles, everything. Well, I couldn't eat much because, noodles will fill you up. But I did have my sketty last night. So you can't count that high protein or low carb, because I didn't have enough hamburger in there to count as anything. And I had noodles. So last night was just a total treat for me, with some sketty and some garlic bread, which I did make on my Sola low carb toast bread. And now tonight we're going to have hamburgers and french fries. And I will just take my hamburger off the bun and just put the toppings on it and eat it like that with a knife and a fork. So there's my high protein, and David gets some french fries. Now Sunday, y'all know what Sunday is. Some of y'all that know me know what Sunday is. It is the start of race season. Sunday is race day, Daytona 500. So I told David, I switched last weekend's menu to this weekend because he was sick last weekend, no appetite, so I wasn't going to cook. We were going to have our fish fry tonight, or Sunday night. But I'm like, I don't want to be caught in the kitchen the whole time the race is on. I want to watch the race. So I changed it. I will be having some carbs. I'm going to do wings. I'm not going to do naked wings, that wouldn't matter. These are wings that we bought at Sam's that already have, it's not a saucy packet, it's just they're sauced, that they're coated. So I know that's carbs because I'm sure it has sugar in the marinade or whatever, is on it. But I'm okay with that. I will still get the protein from the wings. And then, what was it? Vegetable Nest. So, may or may not have one of those. Some of it's carby and some of it's not. I know it does have some taters in it, but I don't know. Maybe 1, 2, I don't know. So anyway, Sunday I will have protein, but I will also have carbs. So Friday and Sunday are my 2 treat days this week. You don't normally have 2 treat days. That's just how it worked out. I will plan better. I already had the menu going. I will plan better on race day, but I already had the menu going and I did not feel like changing it. So that's why I just plugged that in there. And then from now on, I will figure out something to make, like maybe to throw in the crock pot or something that's not going to make me have to stand there and cook while the race is on. Or if it's an early race, I can cook after. Even this was an early one, but it's a long one. And I'm not going to stand up there and fry fish and shrimp and clam strips and all that stuff at night. I'm not going to do it. So, anyway, Monday, chicken thighs. These are chicken thighs on the bone that I'll just bake. There's my protein. Creamy ranch broccoli. It is a low-carb recipe. It has a low-carb, like, creamy, cheesy sauce that goes on it. So, that's okay. And then beans. If I didn't have these other 2 higher carb days, I would probably have a spoonful of beans to start, adding them back in. But I'm not going to do that this week because those 2 days are enough. And then Tuesday, some ranch meatballs and gravy. The gravy part is just where I cook the meatballs in some beef broth. I will just stick in it. That way David will have something to put over his noodles. I'll make him noodles. I will not eat noodles. And then green beans, which of course I can eat. And then Wednesday, taco chili. I will just do like I did the last chili I made. I will just take my portion out and then add the beans in for him. And then I'm going to make him baked tater to put his on, like Wendy's, you know. So I thought that would be good. And then Thursday, baked chicken and rice. I'm just going to take my chicken right off the top, and then he can have the rice. Okay, now here, fried squash. I don't know how much carbs it will have. I'm going to have some because it came out of the garden. I'm going to have it. And I love fried squash. I'll tell you right now, I'll not go the rest of my life without fried squash. No, or okra. There's hardly enough cornmeal mix on a piece of squash to count as anything. So I know I will be eating some carbs. Of course, I'll be eating fried food, but I'm not worried about my fat because I'm not going to stand over there with a straw and suck it up. I know it absorbs fat, but that's not my main issue. And then corn on the cob. I will have one corn on the cob. It is from the garden. I know I'm not going to have the beans, and if it wasn't from the garden, if it was just like store corn, I would like, okay, I'm not going to have it. But if it's out of the garden, I just feel like I need to eat it. We put it up for a reason. We put it up to eat, and so I'm going to do that. That is our suppers. Now, I plan on prepping today, as a matter of fact. I need to get over there and get started when we finish this. For lunch, I want to do some pizza bowls. And that's just all the pizza stuff in a bowl without a crust that you just bake. They're really good. I make those for us a lot of times on the weekends. And then for snacks, I'm going to make some cheesy sausage balls. They are low carb because they're made with almond flour instead of Bisquick. And I've made them before, and they're really, really delicious. And the best part is they freeze. So there's no way me and David both could eat a whole batch of those. So I will be putting them in the freezer. Then I may or may not make some snickerdoodle truffles. They freeze. So I can make them and freeze the whole bit if I want to. I figured out the carbs, but I didn't look before I came in here, so I can't remember. They have some carbs, but not that many for a nice little sweet treat. So you can find a way to get you in a little something sweet without going overboard. I know a lot of people don't like artificial. It's not artificial sugar. The Trivia Sweet Complete is just stevia. So if you can find that you like, or monk fruit, different things, you can find things to substitute for sugar if you need to stay away from sugar. So you're diabetic. A lot of people, they think, oh, you eat sweetener substitutes. Some people have to because they're diabetic. I'm diabetic. My numbers are good, but I'm diabetic, so I still shouldn't have the sugar. So I'm quitting the sugar. So there you go. But that is it. That is all for this week. My groceries came from Walmart's, and I was sitting here thinking, this is high protein meals for me, prep included, low carb. My groceries, they don't look like, oh, it's a high protein, low carb haul, in the fact that there's no special foods. Like, oh, look, this is high protein, you can have this. I did that on the Sam's haul. So I have enough food in this house that I don't need to buy special protein foods. So what you see is just everyday things, the almond milks and all those kind of things, which you're not going to see carbs. I don't think I bought anything that was carbs this week. And if I did, it was for David, basically. I can't remember what I bought. It's been a couple days. So anyway, I think I've talked too much about this menu. Let's just turn around and look at the groceries. So here's my little Walmart's order. It costed a lot, but I don't have much. I told David, I said, you come in here and look, and you see what I got for $70-some. So you don't think I'm going out of bounds somewhere, getting stuff we don't need, because this is it. But I got my almond milk. You know I'm going to get it. I didn't even get eggs. So if we got eggs, it'd have been $200. So I got my almond milk. Now, I don't like vanilla almond milk, but I'm going to make me some golden milk. And I used to make it years ago. I have the recipe taped inside my cabinet because I made it that often. It's good for inflammation. Look up golden milk. Now, this is my home version of it. And I want to start making that again. And I use vanilla almond milk. You can use regular milk or whatever, give it more body, which is, speaking of, good segue. Why I last week combined these two. I pour them in a big measuring bowl and then mix them and put them back in the cartons. It's so much better in my coffee. It's a little more calories, obviously, but it's just such a better mouthfeel. I really, really like it. And then the skim milk is for David. And this organic really does not go bad. It really does not. So it's worth the money. To me, anyway. And then I needed more cheese because we use lots of cheese. I have one already I need to shred, but there's some cheesy things coming up. And then the sausages for, I done forgot. It can't be for my breakfast because I'm not breakfast prepping. Oh, it's for my sausage balls. And then this is for my pizza bowls for lunch. And we were just about out. I can't believe it's not butter. We've used this for years, way before we was ever dieting or anything like that. And then pumpkin pie spice, I used that in my golden milk. And I'm just about out, so I figured I better grab another one. And then some Ritz crackers. We used up all those when David was sick. There's all the time some Ritz cracker crumbs or something. I've gotten better. Used to I couldn't have these in the house because I'd eat them, but I've gotten over that, so I can have them in the house. I don't have to bring them straight in and crush them into crumbs. So we're good to go. And Jacob, he likes to eat them, so I don't need to crush them up for him. And then almond flour. I got a few things I'm making, and I needed some more of that. And then the salsa is for a recipe, and I can't think right off what it is. I haven't filmed my menu yet, so it's not fresh in my mind what I made. But this goes in something. And then some bananas, and we are liking the organic bananas because they really do last longer than the other ones. They really do. And then my solar bread that I've come to really like, the last loaf I bought lasted me 2 weeks. And it was just as fresh the last day of that 2 weeks as it was the first day. So that makes it not so expensive when you think that's a 2 week period of time. And it's a nice small loaf, see? So you don't have so much to worry about going bad. And then David's tomatoes. And when I started filming, I realized they didn't have his avocados. So either the app took them off or they forgot them. So I don't know. Anyway, that is my grocery haul this week. And this is Saturday, so I don't know. See you when I see you.